Hello everyone, I'm Armen. Thanks for joining me in my craft room today. If you are new here, welcome. I post card making tutorials and project inspiration videos. You can also find me on Instagram at ArmensCraftRoom, where I post card inspiration and the occasional bullet journal inspiration. I hope you enjoy today's crafting session. This die cut bin contains dies from the Recollection Snowflake dies, Altenew Tree Mix dies, and Ellen Hudson Snow Much Fun stamps and dies colored in with Altenew artist markers. I do have a panel here of 4¼ by 5½ inch with a little bit of Altenew ink blending, and I've got Brother and Sister felt reindeer stickers from Hobby Lobby and Ellen Hudson's Snow Much Fun cabin that's been colored in with the artist markers from Altenew. Did cut the reindeer off, leaving the acrylic on there so I can slide it around. And I'm pulling out some tree pieces here. I'm using white glitter cardstock from Recollections to look like snow. And I'm trying to identify which tree color base I'd like to go with this reindeer. The light blue paper, this is a scrap textured paper I had laying around in my craft room. I can't remember where it came from, but it ends up being just perfect for this card. And I'm fiddling here with which shape of snow I'd like on each tree to surround the reindeer, getting an idea for the overall layout. We're going for a snowy, tree-filled woods with a nice cabin in the background. The ice skater seems a bit too much, so we'll just put a sentiment in there. Now that I've got the basic layout for the card designed, I do need to add some additional grounding into the card. So we're going to take some extra Altenew ink and continue ink blending with an Altenew small ink blending tool. These are my favorite ink blending tools. And I'm adding a little up at the top. That's where the cabin's going to sit. That way it's not floating. It's got that grounded look. And we're going for a woodsy feel. All right, I did find another piece of this scrap paper in the same blue, which is great. I'm going to use that to mat. So I need to slice off about 1/8 of an inch off each side of this card panel. Because they've already done the ink blending, it needs to be 1/8 inch per side to get that 1/4 inch border. If you hadn't ink blended, you could have done a 1/4 inch off 2 sides. I'm going to glue this down to the matching blue base for a really bright Christmas card. I'm adding the cabin here to the top of the background, and as it's smaller, it looks like it's further away. The snow on these trees, I'm going to use artist tack, which is some micro glue dots, to be able to adhere that to the tree bases. And when you use micro glue dots, you just want to make sure you rub them down quite good into the wax paper and then give them a good press onto your final project. I'm cutting up some foam tape to put behind the sentiment here, which is from the Ellen Hudson Snow Much Fun stamp set. I'm adding glue to the foam tape that's on the reindeer just for extra stability. He didn't have a lot of stability as far as foam tape goes, so I'm trying to add my own. It doesn't really stick to this felt. So the original foam adhesive there that's in the center of him that he came with, I think was hot glue gunned on. And I did not hot glue gun mine on, so you can see it's coming off as I tear off the release paper. The foam I'm setting there is basically just for safety during shipping. The foam that's actually going to hold him to the card is going to be that original circular piece that's in the center that we added extra glue to for extra stability. So the extra stuff is really just to make sure when it goes through the mail that it stays in one level and it doesn't get smushed down and bent. And this is 1/4 inch foam tape, so when you see me cut it in half, I'm making it approximately 1/8 of an inch to get into some smaller areas. Adhering him to the center of the card, I'm now going to add some of my AdTech adhesive tape to the backs of the trees, get them in there, and that Snow Much Fun sentiment from Ellen Hudson's Snow Much Fun stamp set is up at the top. I have some extra pieces of hole punched white glitter cardstock that I'm using for snowflakes. These are in 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4 inch circle sizes, and here I'm adhering individual holographic glitters from an assortment snowy mix from Recollections, which is available at the Michaels stores. So I'm using a fine tip glue nozzle and a putty stick from Silhouette to add these in. Between the fine tip nozzle glue gun and the putty grabber, you can grab literally individual pieces of those tiny holographic glitters, get them exactly where you'd like on your card. I'm going to set these on an A2 card base in horizontal configuration. I'm trying to decide if I'd like a layer of vellum between them and the card, and I opt not to do that. So
In this case, because it's so 3D, it's actually easier to add the adhesive to the card base and then place the topper on it. Just keep in mind the amount of border you're going to need. You don't want to go straight to the edges since there's a white frame border around this. Now I'm going to cut out the negatives from the tree dies, and we're going to use these to decorate the interior of the card. So first I'm going to cut the paper in half, so I have one tree per side with the big scissors. Then I'm going to take some smaller snips. I believe these are 5-inch scissors, and I'll be going around cutting out basically a Christmas tree frame. So the center is going to be hollow, and you'll have a little bit of that blue. And we'll add some additional paper products onto the interior to fill it out. And as you can see here, when we flip it open, I added some more snow dots and some snow tree pieces. Thank you so much for joining me today in this crafting endeavor. I hope to see you again in my craft room soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave notifications on so you can be notified when the next video comes out.